You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for MTV's Challenge Rivals. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Challenge Rivals news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for MTV's Challenge Rivals.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janity here in the AfterBuzz TTV studios. So, we just got finished watching the They Shoulda Shown episode here in the Challenge Rivals. Very lackluster episode, I gotta say. Kind of like the Real World Shit They Shoulda Shown episode, better. This one was a little womp womp. Kind of filled in a few blanks for some of the situations, but I don't know. You know what I think they should have shown? I think they should have shown last week's AfterBuzz Challenge episode. That's what they should have shown. Also, what they should have shown? September 21st, our very own Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos produced movie Serial Buddies will be playing at. Just check out the bostonfilmfest.org, and I'm waiting for the steamer to call in right now. So hopefully, because I know he has loads to say. But if you guys are going to be in the Boston area, definitely make sure you check that out. That's bostonfilmfest.org, and the title of the film is called Serial Buddies. Amazing, amazing cameos by people. Superb. Check it out. What wasn't superb? This episode, but we're gonna give it to you anyways. I had a couple key points that I enjoyed, and a couple that were just like, we already saw this. Also, it was kind of cool. You know, last week we had Leroy and Nehemiah in studio, and they kind of gave us the overall. They kind of gave us this episode right here. It was a little more raw because they could. They were off air, off MTV's air, so they could kind of talk a little more candid, if I may say so. But so yeah, tonight we got Paula. I mean, they started the episode kind of weak. It was like this Paula, Jen, Laurel, and Johnny talking about this first class flight, and how they all tried to bump themselves up to first class and so they could drink the free alcohol. And I guess Paula got so trashed and woke up with headphones, and she thought she was deaf. I mean, that's kind of funny, but I don't think you should have showed that. I'm okay with you not. I'm okay with that being cut out. Also, we could have cut out the whole conversation about this. Didn't need to hear it. But so to me, once I heard that story, I was like, oh gosh, they got nothing for this episode. You know, they pulled a couple things out, but maybe a half-hour show could have been a half hour. A key thing for me was Jasmine. Her other personality is Rashida. So you know, we always called it Houston when she got mad. Apparently, her true rager name is Rashida. So. You know, the episode where she was flipping out, bugging out, I wish I could remember who she was bugging out on. Evan was trying to calm her down, and I thought it was Evan who calmed her down, but no, it wasn't Evan who calmed her down. It was Adam's penis. That's what calmed Rashida down, and I believe we have the steamer on the line with us. Steve, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, what did you think of this whole shindig of an episode?
It was interesting, a little chaotic because they're jamming a lot of stuff down your throats, but it was entertaining.
Now, did you see the Real World's shit they should have shown episode?
Which one? The Las Vegas?
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I thought that one was a little more entertaining, maybe because there were more storylines involved, so we got to kind of see where the pieces were put together. This one, to me, I was just telling the guys, it was kind of lackluster. The first story kind of set the mood of everything up, and I was like, I didn't really care about Paula waking up with headphones thinking she was deaf.
I don't really care about Paula, so yeah, I agree with you on that story.
But, there were some other good things. I said, learning that, Jasmine's personality, Rashida, versus, because we thought her other personality was Houston. But apparently it's Rashida, who has, 12 kids and gets really mad. But, yeah, Adam's penis, which apparently the whole world has seen.
Not me, thankfully.
Calms Rashida down and turns back into Jasmine. What else did we see? We got that belly flop scene from Tyree. Aggressive guy, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if he must have been drunk. He seemed definitely hyper, like he was in Denver, like when he was drinking. So, and plus he was next to Jasmine, so that must not have made him happy.
Right. I mean, he wanted to hook up, and the camera crew came in and they pissed him off.
Yeah.
When he got out of the bed,
yelling at Tyler, or Tyler caused a problem. There's something that I missed in there somewhere.
No, I think it was the camera crew, and they were recording, and he was like, "Y'all cock blocking me," and he got out of the bed, and this might be so bad of me to say, but I thought he was wearing tights or spandex underneath his boxers.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. That was some. Yeah, I don't know what his wardrobe was right there.
So he was okay, because I didn't want to be like.
Yeah,
but is he really that dark skinned?
Something underneath his shorts. I don't know what it was. I was going to rewind it to look at. I was like, all right, whatever. And then they show him in the pool. So thankfully, it wasn't on TV for very long.
Right. So I mean, I don't know what that was. That was a little strange, but he starts doing these belly flops, and I mean, I'm not saying this in any type of way, but reminded me of a really angry gorilla. Not speaking to anybody and just going with it and climbing to the top of the thing and jumping and belly flopping in and not speaking to anybody and just doing this aggressive behavior kind of was a lot right there with that whole situation.
Yeah, he's a very intense dude.
I actually met him a few weeks back out at a bar. Real nice guy. Real calm, funny, crack jokes.
Yeah. That's the way I viewed him in Denver. He seemed like a cool guy, you hang out with, but if he was drinking too much or something struck him, then he'd be intense like that. He got in Davis's face over something back in Denver. But for the most part, he seemed pretty chill, and level. So,
and
I'm assuming he's like that more often than not.
Yeah, and I'm gonna vouch for him. He did not smell. He did not smell
bad.
Yeah? Yes, I won't get into details, but he.
No bacon.
No bacon.
Whatever was that Kenny said?
No bacon.
That's good.
But
good
he did.
know.
Yeah, he did not smell. We were at Saddle Ranch, and no, there was no negative smells of any type. So.
Now, did you ask to smell him, or did you just happen to catch no odor on him?
Well, I was kind of being an AfterBuzz detective. I kind of went in on the hunt, just kind of rushed by a little quickly, as I shook his hand, just to get a whip. Didn't smell. Not he wearing cologne, but, nice. So, how about the married, kill 'em, screw 'em game?
Yep.
This kind of played out how I would think. Wes was killed the most. Definitely could see that.
He should be.
And Caitlyn is screwed the most out of. I mean, hey. Leroy and CT, as they claimed, would pump Caitlyn. And now, last week, I thought Leroy was joking with us. Very serious, apparently.
He seems kind of smitten.
All right, Caitlyn,
Leroy.
Get it in. Get it in. The whole Tyler farting thing, that's just disgusting.
It was a weird segue from the fuck, marry, kill into Tyler's farting. I don't know how they did it, but it was like seamless how they went from one to the other, and kind of creepy, but hey,
Well, I'll say that actually about this whole episode, they did a really good job editing all this random stuff together.
Yeah.
Very seamlessly. This whole Tyler fighting thing, that just, I don't know, that on too many levels, that grosses me out. So we're gonna pass by that. The pranking that went on in this house, we saw why Mike really got as mad as he did. It had nothing to do with cookies. These guys were pulling the bed planks from underneath him all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
and like Leroy said, like he kept like going along with it for how many weeks they're there, and finally he's had enough.
Went Columbine on him. They did the same thing to Adam, which Adam is just naked all the time. I don't really get that.
I don't get it, but
he waves
whatever.
he waves his schlong around like a helicopter. It's like our dear Kevin Undergaro says, Stockholm syndrome. These people are just locked in this house and go crazy. And this is what they do: just get naked and whip your dick around. There you go. There were a couple scenes where I want to talk about homosexuality, since we're speaking about Tyler and nakedness, and let's talk about some homosexuality rumors again. Before we get to Wes, Cara Marie said something really kind of interesting. At the end, when all the girls were getting naked and in the pool, and the guys were just sitting out there with their mouths open, Cara Marie said it was funny because all the straight guys came out and had their mouths opened. And to me, that was interesting that she used the word straight guys, because there was only one gay guy there, and that was Tyler, and he was in the pool with you, that we know. Just thought that was interesting that she commented on that.
I think she just meant everyone but Tyler, but yeah, there could be more to it.
I'm gonna stir the pot. I did it here at AfterBuzz. But in segue to Wes letting Tyler hump him.
Yeah, it's
Awkward.
bizarre.
And also Wes sleeping with the dildo. Now last week I thought, I don't know, maybe I'm just mistaking myself. I thought they said Tyler slept with this black dildo that was brought there. Apparently it was Wes. That's really...
There were both of them there.
And wait, what did
Tyler
Wes...
humping him, so maybe there's like some weird triangle with a dildo.
And what was Wes's comment? I used to sleep with the dildo because I'm comfortable with my sexuality and I'm trying to confuse people. Okay. That's the story we're going to go with.
Hey, did it work? Did he confuse you?
He didn't confuse me. He put as Leroy says, stamp it. You put a stamp on it, and yeah. So no confusion here. What else do we have? Wes, like the door prank. He put all these. Everyone's playing these pranks. The guys. I gotta say, Cara Maria did the stupid like gel on the door, and then what did she put? Black beans in the toilet.
Yeah, like black beans. It was like, that wasn't on the toilet. I think it was on like the trash can. It was like, it seemed like she wiped crap on the toilet paper and left it there, but obviously it was just like beans.
Oh, okay. All right, that's like kid stuff. Then the toilet seat prank. I gotta say that was pretty funny because it's like, the girls did something little and the guys kind of went back like, oh really? Well, y'all ain't gonna have toilet seats.
Yeah.
That was
That's
funny.
the way that works.
And then Wes, wanted to do this door prank thing. Wes reminds me of the situation.
Before you get into Wes, let's go back to Johnny sticking his fingers up Adam's ass.
Oh no, we'll get into. I have a whole thing about that.
All right. Okay.
I'm not leaving that out. Please believe.
All right. I'll make sure.
But with the pranks, Wes does this door prank, and like I was saying, I think Wes reminds me of the situation from Jersey Shore. It's just like you look like you're trying to get attention, and you do it by yourself, thinking you're so clever, and it was just like, exactly what happened. You put all this. You spent 3 hours putting, the furniture in front of everybody's door, not realizing that it wasn't going to barricade anybody in, and then to find out that production got pissed at him, which is interesting that production got mad at him. Did you find that interesting? I can't picture the things that they do in this house. That's what production gets upset with him for.
I don't know if they were just shooting a shot and they need the furniture there. I don't know. It does seem kind of odd that just all the shit they're doing, like the beds, like breaking furniture, like the plants, that they would get mad that he just moved the furniture. But
Right,
there could be something more to it.
And then to make him put it back, like, what if he was like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna say? He moved the furniture last night, so you're being sent home. Really? I don't think so.
Yeah, didn't he throw like CT's bed out the window?
Yeah, into the pool.
They're worried about moving furniture.
Yeah, ridiculous. What else do we get? So okay, Mike's initiation into the crew. Johnny brings this black dildo, which we learned about last week. Johnny put it in Mike's bag, and everyone thought it was Mike's for a while. Johnny bring the black dildo, whatever the feathers were. I get the whole like, oh, I want to be a prankster and all that. I get that. It's just almost a little too much. Just a little bit.
A lot too much.
And then I could even give you the black, first of all, you went and purchased a black dildo. So I don't know what I can give you, but let's just, for God's sake, we'll give you, okay, you want to be a prankster. But then you take Tiger Balm and shove it up Adam's ass. I will even give you that. Maybe you want to be a prankster and you're comfortable with your sexuality. Maybe. I'll give you that. You have a black dildo. You brought feathers. Has he ever slept with any of the girls on the show?
Johnny, yeah, there was, what was her name? She used to tell Casey.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, back, I don't know if there's anyone since, but yeah, definitely Casey. It was, I believe, I can't think what challenge it was. It might have been the Ruins or one of those. Yeah, but he definitely hooked up with somebody.
All right, so I'll give him that. That goes towards his manhood. But I mean, you slap on Tiger Balm from Adam's balls to his ass, and then shove your fingers in his ass. Now we'll give you that one. Who was the second person he did this to? Tyler. Then you did it again to another man's ass.
I mean, I think I'd give the Tyler one more than like Adam. At least Tyler's like a teammate, but Adam is a random dude. So
yeah.
It's like, I don't. Either one of them is creepy, but I don't know. It's just, I sure as hell wouldn't be doing it.
I mean, let's look at the difference where Laurel used the dildo versus Evan with a tiny little bit of Tiger Balm on his finger.
Yeah. Do you really think he was going to win that?
I'm actually kind of upset that he didn't win that, because you're a huge guy who could easily just grab the dildo out of her hand and wipe the Tiger Balm on her face. Oh, but she was whooping his ass with that thing.
Yeah.
And that was
a big girl.
That was pretty funny, actually, to see that. But yeah, Johnny, what? I don't even know what to say about that. Now, last week they were telling us about the monkeys that were there.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Laurel loved this monkey a little too much. I'm not going to lie. If I was down there and I saw somebody else with the monkey on his shoulder, she was petting the monkey, I would want to touch the monkey. I'm not going to lie. I'm an animal fiend. I love animals. I would want to touch the monkey. However, like Laurel, you were really feeling that monkey on some whole other tip, like Mother Earth or something. And I loved what Leroy was like, monkeys carry diseases. And then, of course, Mandy's like, they eat bugs off of each other. Which is kind of gross because the bugs probably climbed into Laurel's hair. It was just, I mean, I don't know. That was a lot, though. That was really a lot. Everything else with the monkey didn't really matter to me. The whole Evan trying to get advice from it. That's like you just want a shot on camera. But I really believe I wouldn't even disagree. I wouldn't disagree if Laurel actually slept with the monkey. Like, really try to keep it as a pet. And speaking of not agreeing, when Laurel got dumped in the pool when she was sleeping on the couch, and they dumped her in the pool, and she woke up, I don't agree. I don't agree. That was actually probably one of the funniest scenes.
My favorite part of that was like I forget who it was carrying it, but you see like Adam like pretend like he's part of it, like he's lifting up like the back of it. It's like, stand back. They don't need you. You're not part of it. Just not trying to be part of the crew.
Right. Ridiculous. I also thought that was really kind of dangerous because for a second there she was like really like imagine like in a deep sleep and you just wake up and you're in water. If she had like I don't know, that was kind of like on some other. I wouldn't.
If you fucked up and like dropping the couch in there, who's to say how she would have landed? She could have freaking hit her head somewhere.
Well,
you don't know what's gonna happen with that.
No, exactly, because actually I rewound it because if I woke up in that she said she didn't remember. That's probably because she knocked her head on the freaking concrete. Because if you watch it again, they really push her in the shallow end. Because the stairs are right there, and I was just like, what? Like, no, turn into the Incredible Hulk and push the freaking couch out the water on these guys. That was crazy, to me. Now, another thing I found interesting, I kind of wish the guys were here, so we could talk to them. But the bus ride, it was really interesting. Jen mentioning that when they rode on the bus, the producers they weren't allowed to talk. What did you get from that? What do you think the meaning behind that is?
I don't know. Like, obviously they didn't mean like the whole bus ride not allowed to talk, because we seen them talking on the bus before. So I don't know if it's like just for some shot that they wanted to do. But even if they just want the bus on the side, I mean, you only need that once. I mean, it's not like you need that for every challenge. It's the side of the bus. So I don't know what the whole thing is. It seemed a little confusing to me. So I have no idea.
Right. So they decide to moon the production shot. I would do that all the time. I would screw with production all the time. Just think about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's involving them. It's funny. It's entertaining. It gives us all these clips to show at the end. So, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
What did we get after that? We got the toga party, the behind the scenes of the toga party. Hilarious how afraid everyone is of CT.
Yeah, especially since you got like Tyler, who like last week on the reunion is like, I'm not like I think it's like Evelyn saying they're afraid of him, and Tyler got all offended, and even though like he told Leroy the week or two episodes before that he was afraid of him, so he can't make up his mind. But then they show you at the toga party they're all afraid, like they're playing these jokes at everyone else, but CT goes in there and they don't want to step to that because they're afraid of him.
Right, like a tiny little baby slap, like boop.
Yeah.
I thought the other one, in order to get in, Wes eating a pickle out of Tyler's ass would have been hilarious. And I'm actually
Tyler probably would like it too.
Right, and I'm actually really surprised that Wes didn't do that, actually. But that was a funny one. Speaking of everyone being scared of CT, Sarah and the handwriting analysis. Now, I've had a handwriting analysis before. I don't know have you ever had that done, Steve?
No, I have not. No.
And I kind of write similar to CT actually. I sometimes I write slanted to the left, then I write perfectly straight up, and then I write slanted to the right. And I've had a lot of issues in high school with this, like where teachers think I have someone else doing my work. So I thought it was really interesting that CT really got upset over this. I thought that was really funny. And just how Sarah took it so serious, like, who is number 4?
See, they didn't show like if she was able to pinpoint any of the other ones. I was curious to see that, like, see how good she is.
Exactly.
Like, they had her like pinpointing CT, like his personality. But what about like some of the other jokers in there?
Well, and that's
Curious on that.
That's the thing. Like, why are you saying who is number 4? Because everything you've said about the handwriting is what everyone says about CT anyways. So why are we asking who number 4 is? You should be like, CT, you're crazy, you know. Which, you know, CT, don't get upset when you're reading serial killer books to the cast before they go to bed. That's weird. That is a little weird. Again, it could go in the Johnny Bananas part of like, I'm going to screw with these guys and make them think that I'm really crazy. Could go in that boat.
But like, I like when Mike was telling the story, because you could picture like CT like reading the story, and like Mike in his bed just like shaking, terrified.
Right. Like, guys, come on, stop.
Just like quivering, not knowing what to make of it.
Right. And that, speaking of Mike, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Drinking Johnny's dirty sock, letting him wring the water out. Are you kidding me? Like, just the thought of that makes me want to puke all over this mixed board right now.
But my favorite quote, once again, was Paula. She's like, he wants to hook up with me, and he's drinking that dirty sock. I hate to tell you, Paula, that sock is probably cleaner than you.
Ooh.
I don't think you could catch some STDs from a sock. I'm not a doctor, but that's just my assumption.
I don't know what you would catch from Johnny's sock. Like, Leroy was saying, how it looked yellow, dripping. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
and I believe
that's got to be grimy as hell.
Absolutely disgusting.
And all for $20. I mean.
Well, and you didn't even get the $20. Not even that. You didn't even get the $20.
But it's not even the fact that he didn't get it. It's the fact that he would do it for $20. It's like, how much low dignity do you have there? Are you just trying to impress these people that much?
Right. Yeah, I'll do it, guys. No, that was absolutely nasty. Talking about Leroy, our boy Leroy can't rap.
Nah.
But that's good. He's breaking all types of stereotypes. I like that. I like that, Leroy. Nehemiah and Brandon.
But he can't swim. He has that one going for him.
Right. Well, he does. Yeah, he does have that, but he can't swim. But he said he's never been to jail, so he's got 2 for 1.
Yeah.
So we have the freestyle between Nehemiah and Brandon, and it was funny because it's actually what Nehemiah and Leroy were saying last week about how when they got to the airport and there were all the black people, they've never seen Wes and Kenny so quiet before, and Johnny so quiet. And, you know, the same situation happened at the table when the guys were rapping. And actually, there's a clip on MTV. You guys should check it out after the podcast. Of the freestyle, and Johnny actually gets in and throws a little freestyle out there. And I gotta give Johnny his props. He kind of, it was nowhere as good as Nehemiah and Brandon. But, you know, Johnny did his thing, and so I gotta say, I gotta give him props for that.
Was it better than Leroy?
Yeah, it was better than Leroy. It was probably as slow as Leroy's, but he at least finished it, and it made sense lyrically.
Poor Leroy.
Yeah, it's all right, bud. Some people are writers, you know? And then, you know, they finished it out with the Truth or Dare, which is always fun just to see what really went down. Tyler and Cara Marie ended up making out. And then we got more just shots of Adam walking around naked. No one needed to see this. And but I would prefer to watch that. I would prefer to see that than Paula walking around with her cooter out.
God, that's disgusting.
And like, and here's the thing: I never understand girls who don't take their tops off. Like, you show your pussy all over the place, but you won't take your top off.
Yeah, especially since someone said like you paid all that money for the fake boobs, but you won't show them off. Instead, just show off your lady parts.
Right. And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know." I don't even know. I have like images of what it looks like in my head. And I really wish
I don't even want to think about it. I'll just have nightmares.
I really wish we could get more into the whole Paula and Mike hooking up, because I don't know, I just feel like there's something there that they didn't show us or tell us, or they painted for us and what it really is, because it seems so off and on, every time they show it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw Paula 2.0, and I gotta agree with all the guys, like, look 10 times better than Paula.
Probably a lot cleaner too.
And probably performs better. But yeah, I mean, that was the basics of the episode. It was entertaining. A nice little wrap up for the show. Kind of wish they put it before the reunion, so we would have, a real big bang to have gone out with.
Yeah.
But I guess it was something light. I was talking to Leroy the other day. We were saying, what is MTV going to put on in this time slot? Because the Real World doesn't start till the 28th. So
yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what MTV's got planned for the next couple weeks in this time slot. I mean, I know I'm going to be bored. I'm not going to have nothing to talk about. Shit. So, I mean, with that, let's get into predictions and just talk a little bit about what we think's going to happen with
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
with the Real World San Diego. Kind of a little iffy about this one.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you. I've never been to San Diego. I went when I was really, really, really young.
Nope, I've not been.
I actually enjoyed myself down there. I wasn't old enough to party, so I don't know what the party scene's like. From what I hear party scene's pretty cool down there.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
But now here's the thing. When Real World Vegas was coming out, I mean, I remember we were watching the Jersey Shore and we would see episodes, clips for it. And, like, the camera shots of it, we were like, wow, this season looks really good. Like, looks really, really intense. I'm not getting that feeling with this one. I'm kind of getting, like, the TV show The Hills type vibe. I don't know if you can agree with that or, what your feeling or vibe is towards this. But, I mean, like, what do we have? The angry drunk guy who's slamming bottles on the ground. We hear, I would never hook up with the guy in the house. And, we see a guy get mad at that. So clearly two of them are going to hook up. Or I've never been in a relationship or liked somebody so quickly before. Like, the same thing we just heard last season. So, I don't know. They seem a little over dramatic and more in like a cinematography type way. What are your thoughts?
I've been down the Real World for the past few years. The only reason I started watching Vegas is Kevin said it was good. I'm like, all right, I'll take his word for it. And I happen to like Leroy, and some of the rest of the cast is interested. Even Dustin was interested to me. So like I like that season. But it seems like this season might be going back towards like the New Orleans, the Philadelphia, the ones around that where it was just filled with like people I had no interest in, and just seemed kind of just like phony, just be there for their own selfish reasons as opposed to like just being like just real people like Leroy. And once again, even Dustin, like he seemed like a real like person you would meet. Obviously, you're not gonna meet many people who do like frat pad type stuff, but in terms of like somebody with like a past, like at least picture like meeting someone like that. But the ones I'm seeing on San Diego just seem sketchy. But then again, I haven't watched an episode yet, so maybe it's different. But yeah, the previews I'm not overly sold on.
Well, I mean, I'm not sold on it, but I am excited for it to start.
I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, I mean, even Jersey Shore is going to be ending soon, so I'm going to need something to take care of my withdrawals from all this reality television, because my Bad Girls Club, as much as I love it, it's going to be ending soon too. So Real World, I'm gonna need you to be pulling hard, because right now I'm being pumped with everything. I'm being pumped with the challenge, Jersey Shore, Bad Girls. I'm getting my reality fix now, so I can't go into hibernation.
The last San Diego season, like, 'cause I like Las Vegas, I like look back at the first Las Vegas season. I'm like, okay, that season was good, so maybe this one will be good too, and it was. Like the last San Diego season, that was it was all right, but that was the one season where they lost like weeks worth of footage because there's like allegedly a rape in the house.
Yeah.
So, but like before that, like it seemed like just like location wise, it seemed good. So maybe this one will be at least semi good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't think they want to show us too much before we get into it. So I'm excited.
But you think they want to at least get you hooked, though. And I didn't see anything that was like just locking me in.
Exactly. You know, him slamming the glass bottles on the floor just brings me back to, can we put Leroy in there to start throwing bottles back at him? You know,
and I think that's the same guy who, like, they showed him, like, talking in the preview of the show tonight, and he was, like, just red. I'm like, I don't know if he was overly sunburned or...
No, he was probably drunk.
Died to himself.
No, he was probably overly drunk and drank so much he was red.
It was a bizarre shade of red. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with that guy?
Which
so maybe
I'm
that
fine.
Watch.
I'm totally fine with that. I mean, I love when they get hammered and trashed. I just don't be an Adam. Don't get kicked off the show.
That's fine.
Right. You know, don't get kicked off the show. Maybe that's why they put them in San Diego so they can be drunk on the beach and they won't get kicked out of places. You know, so hopefully I'm excited for it. September 28th, we will be back in the studio. We'll have our boy Leroy as a co-host here on a weekly basis. So I'm really excited about that. Steamer, I hope you're going to join us for that season as well. And until then, sir, it has been a pleasure hosting these shows with you. And guys, thank you for tuning in every week. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes. Just type in the iTunes store, AfterBuzz TV, Challenge Rivals. Download us subscribe to us for free. Ustream.tv/AfterBuzzTV. And check us out on Stitcher, STITCHER. It's an app for your phone, which you can take us on the road and listen to us. So until the next couple weeks, make sure you guys check out that BostonFilmFest.org so you guys can check out Serial Buddies at the premiere. We'll be playing in Boston, I believe. That's what we say, September 21st. Yeah, it'll be playing out in Boston. And next week we're at the Emmys. Very exciting. Next Thursday, next Friday, we'll be at the Emmys Gift Suite. Giving you all our latest AfterBuzz TV exclusives, celebrities, your favorite hosts, all together in one. So until next time, guys, peace out.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.